We're joined now in the studio by the director of the sports department at the Peres Center for Peace, Tami Chai, who is here to tell us about the most unique soccer team ever. Good morning to you, Tami.
Good morning to you.
So I want to hear from you about it, but first we have a report by Tal Shalev, our reporter. Let's watch that. Come back to you.
Operation Protective Edge stole the spotlight from other news events. Among them, the end of the 7-year term of office of the Israeli president. But no worries, a month after leaving the president's residence, Shimon Peres is far from leaving the spotlight. Throughout the Gaza fighting, Peres continued to do his thing, advocating Israel in international interviews. Now that the violence ended, he is back to his trademark cause, his restless attempt to end the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
The young generation is carrying a message of peace in a loud and friendly way. It's a case where children are teaching their parents how to live in peace.
While on both sides of the border, Israelis and Palestinians are only beginning to heal the conflict's wounds, Peres decided to bring them together and marked the opening of the school year with a joint football training session just on the Gaza border. 50 Israeli children from Sderot and Sha'ar HaNegev met with 20 Palestinian kids from the Yada village near Hebron and played out all the tensions in football.
We play and enjoy. It has nothing to do with politics.
It's good to let loose now and just play football. We were already reunited.
For more than a decade, the Peres Center for Peace has been twinning Israeli and Palestinian boys and girls for various sport activities, establishing schools for football and peace. Once a month, they play football together in mixed teams. The common message of football exceeds the hostilities and breaks down barriers, even in times of tension, like today.
By participating in an Israeli-Palestinian group of players, the kids get to see the variety in identities on the Palestinian side and see that there are people here who still wish for peace.
Peres hails football's contribution to the peace process, but so far there are no Israeli-Palestinian peace efforts on the horizon, and the uncertainties in the region are growing by the day. But one can count on two things: football beats it all, and Peres has no intention of going away. Tal Shalev, i24 News.
So, Tami, it's a wonderful project, of course, but I would imagine it's an ongoing project. Am I right?
It's an ongoing project. We opened basically yesterday the 12th year of the program.
I see. I would imagine that this year things might be a little more difficult than usual.
That's true, and obviously this is the reality that we are facing, but on the same time, this is not the first escalation of violence that we were facing throughout the year of the program. Unfortunately, there were 3 operations with Gaza, and most of our participants, the Jewish participants, the Israeli ones, are coming from the southern communities of Israel, attacked by the rockets in the last 14 years. And this is what we get in every year in terms of the situation with the kids.
Right.
So
what sort of reactions do you see with the kids when they come and take part?
So for the newcomers, of course, at the first meeting, when they meet the Palestinian kids, it's a difficult situation for them. They are stressed, they have lots of fears. They never met a Palestinian in their life, so all the stereotypes are there on the field. But for the ones that are participating in our programs for several years, they are helping the newcomers, to get into the activity and to integrate and to cooperate and with their Palestinian friends.
Right.
So this is a process, and you will not see immediate results. And for all of us, it's a situation when we need to take a deep breath in the beginning of the year, like yesterday, understand what we have and what we need to work with, and believe in our good work, because we do a good work, because this is the only chance for the kids on both sides to meet the other side.
And year by year, do you see the progress made?
Yes, of course. Otherwise, we will not do this. This program is evaluated on a regular basis. We get a feedback from the parents, from the kids, from the coaches. We speak with the kids. You see the kids that are participating coming back every year. This is not just, and also Per said it yesterday, this is not just a soccer program. This is a peace program. This is a peace school. We educate them by using an amazing tool like soccer.
Right. Now, have they talked about their experiences in the last few weeks? Have they, spoken to each other about it?
Yeah, sure. Well, of course, we have the language barrier, and this needs to be understood because Palestinians are not speaking a word in Hebrew, and the Israelis are not. We're not speaking Arabic. So we are sitting together we did yesterday on the field while Mr. Peres was there, and discussing about the experiences from the last summer, because we said we can. Of course, it's fun. They want to play together, and they just want to play, but we also need to talk.
Right.
So
there's always involvement by some grown-up that.
Of course.
I see.
There are coaches on both sides that are leading the teams, the mixed teams, educators, and us, the team from the Peres Center for Peace.
So what sort of experiences were they
there were
sharing?
Diverse experiences, of course. Some kids from Sderot were saying that for them, finally, they are here on the pitch for the first time since the war ended, running freely and playing together without really thinking with whom they're playing with.
Right.
And the same goes for the Palestinians, because they were thinking also about what is happening in Israel and waiting for that moment to meet again. And the coaches, of course, were also bringing the voices of the adults, which is also important for the process, and saying this is a great opportunity to show for the Israeli kids and also to show for our kids that no matter what is happening on the political, spectrum, let's say, we have to continue and to create for those kids a different reality and to bring them and create them hope.
Of course, give them at least the idea of a better future.
Yes, that's true, because they deserve both sides. This is also what Peres spoke to them when we were opening the event and the practice yesterday. He said, "You are the future.
Yeah.
You will show that there is another way."
Certainly hope so. Tamichai, it's a wonderful program. Thank you so much for working on it and for coming here and telling us about it.
Thank you, guys, too.